Good morning, everyone. Today is October 31. We have a custom downspout we're going to be doing today. And this one had the negative slope. It rusted out. It's dripping right now. So we're going to fix it up. We're going to take this out. We are here with the
brothers that just do
brothers that do gutters. There's three brothers here. 1, 2, 3. And yeah, we're gonna knock this out. All right, the first thing we're gonna do to duplicate is we're gonna take this apart. That way we can copy the measurement. So there we have our first cut right there. And we'll duplicate this measurement. And we'll cut that right there. All right, so we measured our top section at 4.5. We're gonna go 4 3/4 to be on the safe side. And that's gonna be our first elbow. We're gonna draw the line all the way across on all 3 sides. 1, 2, 3. And we're gonna measure their angle. So from center to there, they have 1.5 inches for the bottom and 1 inch for the top. We'll leave that there. So they have 1.5 inches for the bottom and 1 inch for the top. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller to begin with. Now we're gonna cut this middle line out. We'll probably use the bandsaw. If you want to film that. So I got my bandsaw right here. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna put some wax on it. Kind of like ski. Look at that. So you can do that with your hacksaw as well. So we're gonna. Very important not to cut all the way. So you see here, I didn't overcut it. This takes experience. If you do it by hand, you can control your cut. But this is as good as it's gonna get. And then you take your scissors and you cut this extra material out. This has to be very, very accurate for square downspouts. So we're basically duplicating what they had there. So same thing, you're just cutting a square and just unfold the material as you go. And that's it right there. So here, if you look inside, we want to make sure we push on this and fold it inside. See? And there's no holes here. If you overcut, you're gonna have a hole, you're gonna have to start over. The next thing we gotta do is grab me that glue, is we have to put glue in here. We're using the GeoCell professional glue. We're just gonna do it on the corners there. We need a wet surface. We're gonna just smooth it out just a bit. There you go. The next thing we're gonna need is some colored zippies. We're gonna fold that in. Right here is very important. When you're putting the screw, don't push too hard. Just let the screw find its thing, because otherwise you'll bend the elbow and then it's too late. So same thing here. See, I'm pushing right here and I'm putting the screw. And don't over tighten the screw. We have our first cut. We're gonna come back here we're gonna measure our distance for our length. The way you measure is from here to here. We have 1.75 inches. 1 foot, 0.75. 1 foot, 0.75. So this is the piece that goes to the house. Normally you measure your outlet to the house. So same thing, we're measuring this distance right here, which is 1 foot, 3/4. You guys see that? That distance, very, very important. If you mess up on that one, it's just gonna be too long, too short. So we come back here, put it sideways. We had 1 foot, 3/4. 1 foot, 3/4. So we cut the backside on this one. We're gonna cut the face on this. My triangle. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna transfer the line. So we're gonna use the same measurement. If we did 1 inch, 1.5 inches here, we gotta do 1 inch, 1 inch, and 1.5 here. It always has to match. That way the downspout will look straight. So we're gonna go ahead and do 1 inch. Down here is gonna be 1.5 inches. I like to leave a little tab on my downspout, and I'll show you that later. And we're gonna cut it. Down here, if I overcut, it's okay. It's gonna be on the back side. So let the saw do its work. Same thing, we're gonna cut this. Cut that away. I'm gonna save my lip right there for later. You guys have a bender? Yes. So same thing here, we're gonna cut this out. So this little tab, most gutter people don't do this, but I do it for my clients and stuff. It's a little lip like this. See, they don't have it on their old one. See how it's blank? So this will add like more strength and water protection. So same thing right here. You have to fold the tabs and bend it in. Right there. You see how that lip adds strength, and so we can double check. We draw our little thing here. Yeah, so we're good. You don't need to put glue on this side, but we will, just in case the gutter fills up with water. I'm gonna put some in the corners right there, just to be safe. Okay, same thing, we're gonna fold it in. We're gonna grab some screws. So I'm putting pressure. There's one. And you notice I have colored screws, so I don't have to paint them. And there we have a first elbow. So you will know that it's straight if you look at it like this. You see how that top section is squared?
Yeah.
It's not like angled or anything. This portion right here. It's if I put this on top, which I probably can't, it'll look level. So level to the house. Okay, next we're gonna measure this little piece right here and duplicate it. And remember, we want to put more slope on it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take this apart. It's gonna be kind of long video, but it's a very important one, training. We already have this measurement, so we don't really care for that one. There's another screw here. There we go. So this is the measurement we're after, is right here. For now, we're gonna measure from here to here, 4.5 inches. We're gonna copy 4.5. Whew. Fell apart. Amazing. So you gotta make sure you know which way it's gonna bend. If you bend it the wrong way, we're gonna be done. So this is gonna bend this way, so that means we're gonna be cutting this out. What was our measurement?
4.5.
So we transfer this 4.5 right here. We're drawing on this side because this is the side that's gonna get cut. And you can transfer all the way across. Now we gotta measure to see what their angle was. So if we measure, they are almost at 2 inches from this point to this point. A little bit less. So 1.75 inches. That's for their top section. The bottom section, they were at almost 3. I'm gonna draw this right here. See, the bottom they had 2.5. We're gonna make it 2.25 to make a smaller slope. So this one, we're just gonna duplicate it. So we got 1.75 inches. I'll make it 1.5 inches for now. So the thing to remember with plain square downspouts is the upper measurements are always smaller. The upper measurements are always smaller. So if you don't know which way you're cutting, it's always smaller at the top. So we got 1.5 inches. And a lot of times I like to do even less than 2.5 because I can always cut later. So I'm gonna do 2 inches. And that's our cut. And if I cut this out, the downspout's gonna fold this way, the correct direction for us. We're gonna go back to our trusted bandsaw, and we're gonna let the saw do its work. There we go. We're gonna cut this out, same fashion. You notice I don't cut all the way because I don't want to go through the 3 layers, right? And I use just green snippies. So right here I didn't cut all the way, but all I gotta do is rip it, boom. Same thing, press in and go inside like that. Here we'll finish cutting. I'm gonna make my tab. There we go. We're gonna add glue. There we go. This is to keep the screws from leaking from the joints. We're gonna fold this in, and we have our elbow. We're gonna put one screw in the back. We're only gonna put one screw for now. We're gonna go measure this. So here we have a downspout that looks like so. So we have our first measurement. See, our slope is kind of big, you see? We gotta cut more. If you look at it, you see how big the slope is?
Yes.
They used to have it more flat. So that's why I only put one screw. You can easily adjust it. If we didn't have that lamp or anything, I would keep the slope. This is the correct slope. But because we're dealing with all the lamps and all the stuff, I'm gonna cut this off. Make a new tab. I'm just going in increments. So the other thing is, you see how I fold that in? I can draw that, and I can see that my upper piece is too long. Debris might get trapped. I'm gonna open it up a little bit. I'm gonna take my bender and do one more tab. This just makes the gutter stronger. So we fold it in one more time. Put the screw back in. And we're gonna try it again. You see the slope changed. So I want to get the maximum slope on this. I'm gonna call that good. You see it touches right here, so there's no gaps. I can see how this is straight right there. That's beautiful. So the other thing I'm gonna do is, I know that's good. I'm gonna draw my line right here, because I know that's where it's gonna end. The reason being is I have so much layers. Whew. So this is our old one that fell apart. We just measured this piece, we drew our own. So because we have a bigger angle, we need to make it longer because this one's too short now. We can verify that. If we had We had 4 feet. And our new measurement is going to be 310. That doesn't make sense.
It should be longer.
Where did that measure from? From here. Was that downspout long? Sticking out? I guess it doesn't matter anymore. So it was like that. I'm gonna double check this one. Okay. So right now we're working on the middle section. Double check. 4 feet, ½ inch. Am I making it shorter or what? 4 feet, ½ inch is all the way up here. Oh, I got it. I gotta measure to the inside. Yeah. Okay. Now we're on the same page. 410.5. 410.5. Okay. Yeah, we're good. We're gonna make it same. So this piece, we need this to go that way. So where would I cut? Would I cut here or would I cut here?
Back here.
On the back. It's better to have longer. It's fine. So we're gonna. That's an extra line. So this is the side we're gonna cut, here and here. The downspout will fold in this way. Because it's a corner of the house, it's a complete 90. So we're gonna see what they did here. For their 90. So if we measure from here to the center, they did 1 1/4 inch, and they did 1.5 inches. 1 1/4 inch, 1.5 inches. So basically same measure. So that's our top section. Let's see. Oops. This is what we're looking at right now. Right there. So here we have 1 1/4 inch. The bottom is always the bigger piece. It was 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. We're almost there. I'm gonna put that on the wood. I'm gonna hold that piece or something for me. Okay. I'm gonna cut that. Also, don't overcut. It's gonna be visible. See how I broke it? It was still holding, but I kind of pulled it back. Don't pull it back too far because you're gonna bend this. I'm gonna also leave a tab. This tab is just my preference. So now we're gonna fold it. Same thing right there. We're gonna take our bender, bend that back. Tabs go inside, and then we have our corner. And we're gonna take a break because I gotta take some of the gear off. It's too hot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how the old one used to be, but this is good right here. So this one, because the downspout's flat, we gotta put a lot of glue. Lots of glue. Here. Here. Just all the connections need to be sealed. You know, the film this, it's gonna, but yeah. We want to make sure it goes up all the walls. We can also add glue on the outside after we're done. I'm just spreading it everywhere where I think it needs to be bonded. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So we take our pre-painted. So the water flow is gonna go like that. So we want this to go inside of this, like that. And you see how my glue is supposed to hold?
Yep.
So I'm actually gonna add more glue on the bottom one right here. That's where it's gonna matter most. I'm gonna lift this up, and that way I don't scratch the glue out right there. There we go. So hopefully that won't leak, but because it's the bottom, see how it came out? We'll put it up and we'll test it. I'm gonna add glue right here. We have touch-up paint, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's, we're gonna call that good. Okay. Now we have this whole
Section.
apparatus. The reason we put glue in here is because water drips is gonna come out right here. That's why we have glue inside. See right here, we put glue, but the water travels at the bottom, so we don't need to put glue, but I put glue just in case this fills up with water. Same thing here, we put glue, because it's gonna drip right here. Now that we know our angle is good, I'm gonna add another screw. Right here. Usually you don't want to put the screw in the middle, you want to put it towards the edges, edge here or edge here. Because when you're pushing, you got strength and strength. In the middle, it might bend. I decided to put the screw higher so the debris don't get caught towards the bottom. So the other thing is, see that lip inside? Like this measurement here.
Yeah.
If I was to take this apart, I'd call that good for this house, but you can adjust it for each individual house to see how far it goes. Okay. We got this whole thing here. Double check. You see how we made this little short, yeah? You see what happened right there? We should have added more. Right there. This should be okay.
When we put this new top one in.
Well, the top one needs to be moved over just a bit like that. You see how it's a little angle?
Yeah.
That's because we didn't add enough, I guess. So what I could do, we'll change this. We'll put it, usually when I do with this stuff right here, I take the nails out. And I put my own screws in there, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't have to fight the hammering, the adjustability. You take that out, put your own trusted screws, and we can probably put it right here on the wood where it's solid. Don't tighten it all the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just leave it hanging for now. See, now you can tighten it evenly. So I'm just gonna look at this one more time. Yeah, see, I like it. How we made the thing short. So, we're gonna save that and we're gonna cut that off. When I was coming here, I wanted to have this piece removable, but I attempted to make it one piece. So, we're gonna save this piece. We're gonna cut this off and make our own separate elbow, and we're gonna cover it with a strap. That way we can adjust it as much as we want. If there's something happens, they can pop this off and take this off without removing the whole thing. Because I like this. I really do. I mean, the other option is cutting the wood and stuff like that, but I don't think we're gonna mess with that. So.
Nope.
We're gonna take this off.
I'm happy we don't have to make that all in one piece.
No. That's fine. We're gonna. So same hole. I'm gently hitting it right there. I'm not sure where that. Anyway, so now I'm gonna look at my downspout and just set it straight right here. Okay, is that straighter?
Little straighter, maybe a little
A
left.
little more?
Little to the left. Just a tad.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like that for now.
But yeah, it's pretty straight.
So that will be our sample right there. Micro adjustments can happen right there.
Perfect.
So now that we've achieved a good slope right there. I don't know.
Yep.
You've seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot better now. We're just gonna make that second piece. Let's see. I believe this is too short now. Well, it was gonna be too short either way. So we'll save this piece for later. We're gonna go get a new piece. So all we're gonna do now is make our 90-degree bend. And we already know the measurement for that. So usually when I make my elbows, I make them, what, 4 inches right here. You can always cut it shorter. So sometimes the house has a taller fascia board, so you want to make this piece higher, your drop. So we got 1 inch. We're gonna fold it this way, so we're gonna cut here. And this is 1.5 inches. We'll just do a little bit less. Transfer these lines just so we can keep track of our bend. There we go. And we're gonna cut it. I stopped the blade before it reaches the bottom, so there's no overcuts. Just a tad bit right there, which is fine. Basically gonna make my tab. Just like that. Just like that. This one pretty much has to be 90, so we're gonna go measure. See, I'm looking at the corner here, it's not even 90. So we'll keep cutting it. And make it 90. We're gonna micro cut until we get our proper angle. So if we're overcut, we have to start over. See, that's becoming more of a 90. See? Mm-hmm. The other thing we gotta look for is when we go more 90, we close off. You see how it closes the corner? Mm-hmm. So on this particular downspout, I'm gonna do a little bit different. Instead of cutting it off, I wanna preserve as much meat as possible. I'm gonna go reverse bend. This is very rare, but so when it goes in there, it locks itself in. I gotta cut my corners off. Just a tad. You see how it kind of grabs itself? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna put 1 screw and we're gonna go measure. Something like that. There we go. So we know for a fact, see this connection can happen right behind this. You won't even ever know. So I like how it's conforming to here. So if you come over here, if you measure the distance from here to the end, it's 18 inches. So from here to here is 18 inches. So we know the distance from here to here needs to be 18 inches, right? You're gonna draw on the wall and you're gonna draw on the downspout, right? That's where our cut's gonna be. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That way it's nice and straight. Okay? Cool. So down here, I'm gonna cut this off right here. I'm gonna cut this off right here. Crimp this. This will go inside, that will hide it. Okay? I measured from the wall to make it straight. So which side will we cut to make this go down? Will you cut here or here?
This one.
In the bottom.
Yep.
Cool. Let's cut in the bottom. So we're going to transfer this line. And that was, the old one was pretty much flat. So we're going to try to put more slope, right? So we're gonna start with 1.25 inches, and we're gonna do 2 inches here.
Tony, what's the standard? You know, is it usually about 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches?
So it's
every time you make a
it's
cut?
about 2 inches and 1.5 inches
That's like normal.
for the B style.
Yeah,
For the A style, it's inch, 1.5 inches.
got it.
So, but sometimes I do inch minus 1 dash, 1.5 inches minus 1 dash to put a little bit more slope.
Gotcha.
But
But
each
normal,
house-
normally it's fairly similar to
yeah,
an inch
like
and a half.
3/4 to inch, 1.25 inches.
Gotcha.
It'll get you a really good slope. This right here, you wouldn't want that on your house. That's not a good slope.
Yeah.
It's gonna get clogged. So, but you gotta remember, if you do the cut here, you gotta do the same cut here. That way it levels this section here. You wanna look to see if this is level. If this is level, that means both your cuts are good cuts. Okay, we're gonna cut this off. Bandsaw. We're doing double work because we're filming and this. So I'm trying to make sure we work fast and efficiently, so less editing. You guys have one of these?
Nope, but we are gonna.
We cut old gutters with it and everything.
Yeah,
It's amazing. Sometimes the customer's like, "Oh, I forgot my lock key. I don't know where it is." Goodbye, lock. Well,
And you can do it on regular corrugated downspouts too.
Yeah, you can do whatever.
All of them, yeah.
But you got to be careful with that. You have to respect the tools.
Right.
Like if you're cutting something and you have your hand right here, and you're like the material's not cutting, you're yanking, the blade might fall off and hit you. Because the blade's right here.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure the blade is away from you, and you use 2 hands. You know, you hold the material so kind of like that, and then you
Right.
you start cutting. If you start cutting right here, your blade's right here. Sometimes I just do one hand, like a Rambo. So I take the downspout and you know, bam, just one-handed. But you gotta go to the gym for that.
Right.
Jim, you got this?
So
You need 20 years of bending metal
I
and
just started
gutters.
using that like 4 years ago. Not a single one broke. They always work.
They were great.
Okay.
We're going on Amazon after today.
Oh, see, I messed this piece up.
Oh, we need to cut.
No, never mind. No.
No. No editing.
No editing. So right there, and then you use your scissors. Square downspouts You can know how to do them and watch all the YouTube videos and everything, but you need experience. Like, it's not gonna work out for a long time until you keep doing them. I did a whole apartment complex square downspouts.
Oh,
That was fun.
I bet.
I hate square downspouts. I charge the customer more to upgrade to regular. So, same thing here. See, I didn't cut all the way. No problem. I'm just gonna bend it back just a little bit, and then, bam. So that's our corner connector thing. Might have too much. This is the slope that I like to have on houses. That's a really good slope. I'm gonna put a temporary screw. So now our downspout is long and we're kind of stuck. We can't do any measurements, but what I noticed here is the pipe is far away from the wall. So either way, we're gonna have a little jug, right? So what I'm gonna do, I can measure from here to about here, and I say 4 feet, right? And then at the bottom, we'll have a 1 foot transition, and we'll put an anchor right there. That way, it's not gonna be in the air. So if we measured from there, I can measure from here and cut 4 feet. See, one-handed right here.
Rambo.
Like that. You see? See how I put my leg right there? So this is the piece we're after. So we're gonna keep measuring to make sure we get. The other thing here, we drew our angle. We're gonna modify that right now. But I'm gonna make an angle here. I'm gonna leave a little bit more angle so I don't have to fight my connection, right? So, for example, here's our piece, and it's beautiful. See how this is twisted?
Mm-hmm.
That's because we changed the angle here. We might have to cut a little bit because this is too aggressive. So we might have to adjust it right here a little bit, you see?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we can work with this angle, but not this angle, right?
Right.
So you just keep at it. Because this, you can't just take measurements and it's too many variations. Once again, I only had 1 screw. So it's micro cutting. Basically, we're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna make a new incision. And again, this is just my signature way of doing the plain square. It just gives it more strength. Okay, now we got more slope. And you can tell, you see where the old screw disappeared. I'm not gluing anything right now until everything's complete. So when I put my screw, you see how I angle it?
Uh-huh.
It just sucks it up and gets rid of all the gaps. Because if I just put straight, so this actually gives it strength. You see how it's like
Right.
1 screw. Technically, I don't even have to put a second screw here. Less debris trapment. Same thing here. I don't have to put a screw. I just put a bunch of glue. That way debris doesn't get stuck. So I'm gonna measure it again. And I like that a lot right there. I can connect these two, no problem. Okay, I'm gonna glue this up. I'm gonna glue it up. And do you guys have a concrete impact drill thing for concrete?
I don't think so.
I went to do a government bunker. I came out with my tools and I had a concrete drill. And that concrete bunker was like a meter thick. We were trying to install gutters. And I was there for hours and hours. And the guys are like, hey, they brought me a rotary hammer.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's how you get through bunkers. I'll show you guys that tool. So once again, this is the important corner here. You see how I'm gently bending this back because I don't want to over bend it, and this is the one that gets a lot of glue.
I like that technique.
This thing, I'd be in
Making
big trouble.
Making a mess.
Yep. So I'm gonna put some in the corners. Remember how when I bolted it, the glue came out? That's what we want. We want the glue to come out. And where the screw's gonna be, and over here. We'll add some right here.
Hey, Tony, you just got a phone call from Pavel.
Oh, I didn't?
I don't know if you need to take it.
Oh, that's fine. I should probably call him back. Yeah, let me call him back. They're actually working back in. I'm really tempted to put a second screw, but yeah, I'm gonna put a second screw. I just don't want it to. I just don't want it to fall apart. See how it's strong? And now I can't really reach, so I'm gonna use my trusted pencil and kind of smooth the stuff out. Okay, so I got that one sealed. We're gonna seal this, even though we don't have to, but we'll do it anyway. So we'll put some glue in there on the connections and on the bottom. That way there's no guesswork. Okay, so same thing. I'm gonna pop that in there. Put the screws back. Smooth the glue out a little bit. Use a hammer if you have a sharp edge. Wipe the extra glue off. So yeah, I'm doing a triple. I don't have to put glue, I don't have to put this, but I'm just doing everything to make it, if it fills up with water, at least it won't like squirt out of everywhere. That's our finished piece. Next thing we gotta do is we gotta crimp it. This is how I crimp my square. You take some pliers, you bend in on the corners, and the pliers have this little sharp edge right here. So you can actually grab and make the tab. These are Irwin, but these ones are also good. Nipex. These are good as well, but for some reason I like the other ones better. But see, same concept. Yeah. But these ones are too fat right here.
Oh, they're too fat.
Yeah, so see how much skinnier this is?
Yeah, yeah.
So when you're crimping your downspout, you want needle nose.
Okay.
So I use these for all my aluminum ones. See, it kind of broke. And I use this for all my square. These are a lot stronger, so when I twist, they won't snap. These ones I've broken these before. I'm very strong. See, I'm gonna go back to these. Even these ones, you see, are they pretty match, like for like?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a guy on YouTube that does reviews, and I've seen him do reviews and torture tests. So that's a connector right there. So when you go to put your second piece, see how it just pops in?
Yep.
And you don't, the front I make smaller than the back. You see how the back one is longer, the front is shorter? Because I don't want anything visible on the face. So this piece is ready. We're gonna finish that one and assemble it. I'm gonna get my rotary drill. Okay, we're gonna take this off. You see how their crimp is like so heavy? Whatever. Okay. So we're gonna modify this one. So now we have to crimp this because that's our connection. So I'm gonna go in. The top I'm gonna make longer. I'm gonna attempt not to do the bottom. Let's see what happens. If the science is correct. Let's see, doesn't really want to, no problem. We can bend this in like so. I just don't want to have any bends at the bottom. And this is where the angle came to play. See how there's no no bends at the bottom? Mm-hmm. That's professional right there. Okay, now I'm ready to put this back forever. Final stage. I don't know why. Ah, okay. Can we hold that so don't break it? Their old strap wasn't in all the way, you see? So I'm gonna pull it out. Change it to a screw. Remember how we bolted it and it was loose? Not good. So the era for nails is past. We are in the 21st century. We use screws all day long. We're gonna put the straps back in the same spot. That one I'm gonna tighten all the way. I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna straighten her downspout out. You see right here?
Well, are we replacing that too? I think we might be replacing it. Are we?
I would assume so, but I'm not.
We're gonna be doing okay.
Can you hold it?
I don't know if I should ask her.
Oh, get that here.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm gonna back this out just a bit.
Okay. Okay. Well, Yeah, I mean, just the way I'm looking at it, the top section is functioning properly. It just looks dirty. So, I mean, if we cleaned it up, it's everything's working fine. But yeah,
I do want to add a screw right here.
okay. Okay.
So it doesn't fall down. Okay, that's good.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Fairly certain we can. And we are taking videos and stuff, so. Okay, sounds good. All right. All right.
Too long right here. Uh-oh. I guess my screw didn't work. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna cut this off. A little bit more. There we go. All right, let's try it again. The screw should have went. Should have went. Oh, see, it didn't grab really well. This is where the screw should have went originally, so it wouldn't fall. That's good. Okay. Okay. That's pretty straight right there. This. There we go. We'll look at it one more time. I'll say that's pretty good right there. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's good. And that's good too. See how we just keep micromanaging it?
Mm-hmm.
So now that this is on, I can twist it right there. That's where I want it, right there. So I just need to measure this last piece. About an inch in. So we'll make it 21. 21. Okay. 21. I'll take that. So to go in the pipe, I usually go bigger angle, like that. It makes it more round. If you look over here, that fits in really good right there. And for some reason, let's see. Yeah, it's gold. That's it. See how the old strap? We're gonna move it down right there.
Perfect.
Cool, so now comes the fun part. We're gonna mark it right here. And we're gonna put a strap to cover this seam. I don't know how she used to have it, but we're gonna change it. So, rotary drill. There's another secret here. You can go like this, or you can go like that. Which is better?
Angled.
Why?
Not sure.
Like butter, you see? That's a quarter inch SDS and a molly. And I'll explain why the angle is important. You guys have a strap? Or?
No, we do not. Can I get?
I'll make my own. You guys will touch it up with paint, yeah?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So I just take a strap. We're short. You guys have 1.5 inches? I normally use 1.5 inches.
Screws?
Oh, I found one. So I just use 1.5 inches. So, because we have it on an angle, you see how the screw goes in at an angle?
Uh-huh.
When you try to pull, the screw jams.
Ah.
You'll never pull this out, ever. This is a done deal. It's lifetime. So put that back together. Make sure it's straight. See how it lines up better, even though the pipe is far away? Fold that, fold that. See, it makes it look like there's no seam there. Cut the extra off. Bam. How do you like it?
Great.
We put extra slope for you.
Thank you.
We redesigned it for you.
Thank you.
So, yeah, go ahead. So, we're gonna do a little bonus for the customer. And she's gonna paint in the spring, but these rust spots are really ugly. So we're gonna clean it up a little bit. Warm it up. Just a little bit. And put some primer on it. Oh, nice. It's nice and dry. And now we're gonna go and kind of gently get rid of her rust spots. This is a premium primer. She's gonna be really happy. She's gonna come home and she's gonna be like, whoa. These guys did an extra step. And maybe in the spring she will decide not to paint. Because our paints are top notch. Yes, we are gutter guys, but we can also do painting. We just blend it in. Blend it in. And there you have it. We're gonna call that good. I mean, we could add more, right? Once it dries up. Looks cool, huh? How you guys chose the paint, but it's amazing. There you have it. See how it's leaking?
Yeah. That's why I made my own custom strap. If that's going to be long enough.
Okay, so
That may not be long enough.
I need just a standard
Yeah.
strap. You don't have any?
No. We actually used them all up on Friday.
I got some. I'm gonna put a screw. So for your next job, oh, maybe not the best location right there. Don't tighten it. You'll tighten it later. Yeah, no, it's gonna be a little bit. Good catch.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's good.
So see? And I'm out of space. If this was tight, I would have been out of space. But now I can go back.
Perfect.
This ain't going anywhere. That's it. You can do push-ups, pull-ups, whatever you want. I'm gonna put the screw back in here. And we're gonna paint it. We're gonna get the moisture off a little bit. Man, what a perfect match on the house. It kind of blended in with the old downspout, bam, bam, like that. And that's it. Okay, now we gotta go see what the problem is. Oh, too steep. I want to slide out.
Yeah, I'll put a foot down here too.
So the water's coming from right here. Is it? You know where the water's coming from? From right here. It just drips, and then it's like a gutter up here.
Yeah.
So it's not even a leak. Where's my? Can you throw me my rag without?
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm the anchor.
Yeah, don't leave me. Please. So, if you stand over there, I'm gonna explain to you what the problem is right here on video. So the water is rolling off the edge of the roof. It's coming here, it's hitting the gutter, it's dripping here. So all this water that you see is from the roof. See, I wipe it off and new water appears. So maybe in the future, have this gutter and this gutter with a corner. That way you can tuck under in the future. That way you can just have one downspout instead of two. Make this gutter a little bit longer. Make a gutter corner. Because right now it's just dripping and it looks like the downspout is leaking and it's not. Okay, we're done.
Awesome.
Right, we just finished the square downspouts. That was super fun. We'll do it again, but there's the house right over there. We put more slope. The lady is extremely happy. And this job is done. Like, subscribe.